Hello, everybody. This is Frogman, and welcome back to Manufactio Nuclear Edition. Last episode, we started off making a little bit of, well, orange organic plant science, and down there on the end of the thing over there, and we went ahead and set up a little bit of a tree farm over here, and it has since been running really well and collecting all kinds of good stuff for us. I did go ahead and just throw in something that was going to make us a lot of saplings right off the bat, and, well, you know, oak trees are usually really good for a lot of saplings. We will probably be switching this over later on for something that runs wood, because probably fairly soon we won't be needing so many saplings, because again, there's not a whole lot of orange science to do. So we may or may not leave it the way it is right now. I'm going to have to set up a plant farm fairly soon so that we can do some plant oil, but for right now it's doing what it needs to do. So we also unlocked a bunch of other technologies, and I've also started to kind of clean up some of the the general idea of how this whole mess is going to the working, and actually testing a couple of things as well. So some of the other technologies that we unlocked, I know it's been a little while, were the viaducts, which I went ahead then and built in a little bit of a system so we can get from one end of the current base to the other, plus all of the major physical areas that we currently have access to. They're real cheap. I mean, I'm very happy with how cheap those are. It's very simple. I mean, this hardened glass is the hardest thing, and that hardened glass is just, well, that's the hardened sand, and you just smelt it. So I had built a bunch of that already as it was, so we took care of that. Now we have them in a few places. I did and am testing something as well. These fluid pipes act like my favorite fluid pipes, which are the immersive engineering fluid pipes, meaning they're not inventories. As near as I can tell, they're just teleporting fluids from one location to another without any inventory, which is a reason why I do not like using these things. Again, these ones right here, this is an inventory. It holds like a couple of 100 millibuckets of fluid, which means you can't ever really run just one single line. You have to run many lines if you want to use that stuff. So we're testing it, we're seeing how it works, but so far all I did was basically went in and brought everything into a single line, and we're not worried about what we're inputting, because the input here should never really matter. All the inputs that we're looking at this point have a forced connection downwards or outwards or whichever direction they should go, so I should never really see a major problem with some of these, although I think I probably need to remove that pipe and hook it onto the end of this. And all we're doing, like, should say at the end of it, or the outputs, is we're using a fluid router and telling the output, whichever direction that we want to go, what it is that we want out. So it says water. If I break that and I put it down, water, water. So if I unhook that, put it in, and just put whatever else into that thing, it will decide to choose whatever it wants to choose. This is going to be rather important here fairly soon, because we're going to need to start looking at hooking these two tanks up. These two tanks have the hydrogen and the chlorine that we're going to need to do a little bit of work with this thing. So another thing that we did in between episodes, and I love that this one turns purple when you do that, it's really kind of funny, and like these are all, some of these are pink, is that we unlocked the upgrade for this upgrade right here, the core tier upgrade. And what that does is that allows us to access the machine. So, like, let's see, what are those hydro plants, the ones right behind us? That allows us to access the core 2 or the tier 2 cores for these things, which, well, in the case of the hydro plant, let's click on this real quick. It's now going to process various things in a little bit shorter amount of time. It's going to use a little bit more energy. But the point is, again, it's shorter time. So, like, in order to make, well, just that recipe, the P8 recipe for distilled water and saline water, it's 15 ticks, and it's going to use 206 FE a tick, whereas in the diesel one, where is it? 1, 2, that one, I think, it is 20 ticks and a little bit more power. So for 5 ticks less time, or less than a second, it's going to produce that much amount of stuff, same amount of stuff. So I went ahead and did missed it. Guess I can't get up on that one. And went ahead and did everything. I guess I'm going to hit my head on a few things. Went ahead and did everything that we could upgrade. So the ore washers, the centrifuges, the electrolyzers, all that stuff are now tier 2 as far as those go, and so far they've been working reasonably well. I went ahead and upgraded this row to everything because of these, because now that we have them accessible, they're actually automated upstairs. I'm just going to go ahead and go with these from now on because I can upgrade these in place a little bit easier, and well, it's just kind of be the way the things that we're going to have to mess around with. I also went ahead and used the little sign maker thingies because the sign maker thingies don't seem to use near as much frame time as an item frame does. I don't know what it is about my PC or whatever, the way that this works, but those item frames, by the time we got as many as we had, I mean, we still having a frame issue. I've got something that's there's something that's causing a serious amount of frame loss in between both of these two sides, and it's probably because I went and reworked everything to be standing straight up in the air now. That it's caused me a little bit loss of frame when I'm down here. It's not anything that's really impacting the TPS. It's just frame rates are a little wonky because there's just a lot of more stuff wandering around. But it is functional, and yes, I'm only using them on the ones that I need to know, so that whether or not these are maybe causing our frame issues as well. But it's functional. Everything's doing well. We've managed to run the system for quite a while, and I actually have I have a decent amount of orange research, and I have quite a bit of green research because I was fooling around with things trying to get some other things going. So one more thing that we did do is I finally hooked that thing up into a bunch of automation that is going to take cactus and turn cactus into the plant fibers. The plant fibers then immediately just run next door into the fertilizer because it's going to be about as easy as this. Just means I don't have to go hunting for the ore, so I'm not really worried about it. That way we can then just do that. We are also using the trees that we're getting down here to make the resin that we're going to need, and I went ahead and hooked in a little bit more plant fiber because we had backlogged quite a bit, and the recipe for the fertilizer, this stuff right here, is 9 of those. So for every 9 of those, you get 1 piece of fertilizer. So I ran through 6 or 8 double chests of cactus that I had stored, plus a full single high one of the other storages that we had, just making most of that fill all the way up and then filling this thing back up. So we're doing pretty good. I am importing the oak wood and the oak saplings. We are currently out of the plant oil because I'm kind of just doing this as we need to do it. We need to set up a farm to do plant oil, and I'm not really worried about it right now. We'll get there in the end. That is a section of the book that I'm not too concerned with because I think we're at a point now where the only thing I'm going to care about is bioplastics, and bioplastics is going to require us to do some more things later on down the line, and well, that's going to be blue science, I think. So onwards with what we need to talk about today. I am, for one, terribly tired of placing down concrete by hand. And the thing, we've already got the magic unlocked, I believe. I think I've already unlocked it. Where is it? It's in automation. This one, the building gadget. Building gadget we love to have right now, but we can't make it because, well, it needs the next tier of circuit. It needs one of those, I believe, if I recall correctly, somewhere in all of this mess. Plus, this is going to get us some of the other things that will allow us to work a little bit further, be able to do some more things. Plus, we're going to need it, I believe, for blue science and, well, the next just more things. We're going to need it for other stuff. We're going to need it for things. We need it for more logistical things. So it's time to start looking at that. So what we have currently built, at least for these right now, is absolutely none of this other than the solder wire. The solder wire and the basic electronic components. I guess we have those two right there. This is going to require plastic sheets, and this is going to require silicon wafers. If we go back over here to this, to the circuit board, the new board for these, that is going to require ferric chloride, phenolithic boards, bronze plates, and this. So we have this automated. I've got this automated. This is doable. I mean, I can go set that up right now. We have both of those sitting around, not big deal. What is this? Ferric chloride. Ferric chloride is going to require us to pump that hydrogen and the chlorine down here and mix some pulverized iron and some sulfur together to make that thing. Far as I know, that's the only way we can make those things. So that's another piece part out of the puzzle that we're done with. So that's just to get the circuit board built. We're going to build it in this processing thing up here for right now. I was planning on building a circuit factory, and I think we're going to build a circuit factory once we understand how many of these things we're going to need. But looking at this circuit, the interesting thing to note is that it doesn't require the lower tier circuit, meaning that that green or the second tier circuit, the second tier one that we already have kind of somewhat automated over there, is not going to need to be made a million billion of them. Matter of fact, I think the only thing, well, let me just look at the science here. Get the sciences up. This one just requires this stuff. This one requires this stuff, which is going to require one circuit, the light duty circuit ones. These are going to require those, which means I won't have to mass manufacture, I don't think, anywhere in any of the other stuff, the other circuits that we just had. So here, again, no mass producing of other circuits there. We may just build fast assemblers then. We might just try to do is just go through and go after 1 or 2 assemblers, maybe 1 or 2 per of these just to get it to going. Because for what it's worth, that thing runs reasonably quickly. I mean, I can just have it sit down and go. Now, all of these sciences, especially this one, is going to take 112 ticks, but I'm going to get 2 of them. So that's technically, you know, half that number, which is fine with me because, well, this one runs at, you know, twice that speed, which is, again, not a big deal at that point. So, or twice that speed, half that speed. So we're kind of looking at, I'm not really concerned about it right now. Not like we were with the other Manufactio building just massive amount of circuits, because I don't really think we're going to need massive amount of circuits. So today, after all of that long discussion and playing around and showing off a couple of these other things, what I want to get done today, and I know this is just a long kind of roundabout way of kind of things, is we need to get this done, and if we can, at least the plastic. Well, with all that said, let's see about getting the circuit board made, and then if we have time, which we should be able to get the circuit board made, then we'll go forward with the making of some plastic, which is going to be making of some oil from somewhere that I don't know where I want to build the oil plant outlet yet. So let me get some chemical plants and some parts together and some things, and then we'll hook up the system and see how things work. So give me a little bit. Okay, so I went and crafted some stuff. If we have the time, we're going to do the distillation of some oil into a hydrocarbonation, that thing right there, into some chemical plants, into some plastic, if we're going to get lucky. I'm going to hope we get it done, at least at this point. So I went ahead and run a line of stuff down here so that we can have the oil set up. So I guess the first thing we need to do, because I went up there and set up this thing right here. So we need to make that, which is going to require hydrogen and chlorine, sulfur, and pulverized iron in a chemical plant. We're going to use this line right here as our initial beginnings of chemical stuff, and I hope I have plenty of room. So we're going to distill oil products and put them on that side, and then chemical plant stuff on this side. I think we're going to have plenty of room. So let me do, I don't want to go crazy with these just yet. I'm going to do them one at a time. So, boop. I did go and steal a gas well source so that if we needed to do something with that, we can do that too. So, chemical plant. These shouldn't take that long. It's literally just going to be, well, that, and then boop. No, this chemical plant. And I will upgrade these. It will get upgraded as we go. So where did I set this? I set it kind of in the line behind everything. So we'll start at about there. Okay. And once again, these are fairly simple. I did learn something too. You have to put one of those in the line periodically, or at least something in the line periodically, in order to be able to continue to run really long logistics pipes, or else it won't power really far out things. So first off, I guess with this thing, we need to do gas well hydrostatic. What was the thing? What do I need to put in you? You need to be A11, which I already went and copied a couple of times, and then I put it back. Where is it? There you are. Where is my paper? Make, I don't know, a few of these. We'll just do that. Okay, so there's 4 of those, no big deal. We've got them ready to go. Okay, so you're going to need some stuff that we don't currently have hooked up, which is going to be some fluids. Oh, shoot. I was afraid you were going to do that. Give me a second. We're going to have to fix that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of fun with that little bit of a mess because of the fact that that did that. We need to fill those 2 interfaces with stuff. If I do this, you're going to do the hookup and then go push whatever the first fluid is down the drain, right? Yes. All right. So if I do something like this, and we need ferric chloride, right? Ferric something. This stuff, put it over there so you know what you need. We're going to need chlorine and hydrogen, of which we don't have hooked up to the system just yet. So if we do this there, and then you say on the bottom, let's see, bottom, chlorine. Wow. Chlorine, bottom. And you need hydrogen. That is not what I need. H-Y, hydrogen, which I think is that, no, this one, right? Oh, come on. No. Let me have it. Hydrogen. That's not what I'm looking for. That one. Right there. Can I have it? No? I'm going to have to go get a bucket of it? Awesome. 1 second. Let's go find us a bucket. Maybe the bucket actually works. Where's the bucket? Is there a bucket in the hydrogen line? No, there's nothing. Awesome. Okay. Okay, I guess since we're down here, let's go hook these up to the system. So I should just need to do that, and I gotta run this around. Do I have enough? Yes, I do barely. Come on. Boop, boop. And where's your thing? I have to remember this thing's here. It's just marginally faster than running from one end to the other. And they do work okay. They're not the greatest thing in the world. Like, they're not as cool as the hypertubes at Satisfactory, but they do work. So let's see. We need to run back up there. And up, 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 up. You bottom. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this. I might have to tell it what it can put in on the front side, too. Let's see. Let's see. What side is this? This is the red side. No, we don't want this. Red side. We're going to have to fiddle with this. I'm going to have to figure out whether or not this is the way this is going to work. So if I do red and chlorine here, no, this, there. No, of course you're not going to work with me today. All right, let me fiddle with it. We're good to sort out. I don't want to have to spend an hour trying to do a bunch of silliness here, but I think I might just have to run a pipe over the top or connect it a little differently. You know, it would help if you connect this stinking thing to the actual network. There you go. There we go. Hydrogen, chlorine. That only took 5 tries. Cool. Let's see what we can do about not having that connect again, or at least maybe run something around it, because I know we're going to need some of the other things over here. So we'll do... Well, I mean, if it'll work like that, I'm okay with that. And it should... because they should allow pass-through to other pipes. So, like, I should end up seeing chlorine in the other one right here, even if I break this out. So, next thing we need to do is we need to hook the logistics up. You need to get one of these. What is that? That is this one? No. You just need pulverized iron and sulfur. Okay, well, I can bring that along pretty simply. That's just gonna go right... and you put all your stuff away. Let's see, supplier, basic logistics, and provider. I did finally do this too. Now that I found a found a villager that has the mending capabilities, so now I don't have to worry about most of that stuff. So let's see here. We need some more of this, and we need some more of this. So let's hook this up, get this rolling. That's not what I wanted. That's what I want. And I guess we'll just do the bad thing, which is bring it down and run it through 2 providers into an, supplier into a provider. And if I just grab the wrench and click on you, we should see the capability for some pulverized iron. Go. And sulfur. Go. And power. I should have some on me. Good. Whoop, that's not what I wanted to do, but that'll work. Right there. Okay. Now, as soon as that stuff comes along, which I see some of it, I guess I need to hook that pipe back up. Actually, I don't. I want to dump this bucket. You have power? You making stuff? I understand that's a long way to drag something. But once it buffers up, it shouldn't matter. Actually, what we'll probably end up doing is we'll probably end up doing something like that eventually. I'm just going to try to get this stuff running right now. I may have to actually put some buffer chests up front. No, it's working. Missing input item. Do I put this in there? Iron and sulfur, hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrogen, chlorine. Sulfur, iron. What happened to my sulfur? Oh, wait, what the heck? It's right here. Yeah, why are you no? Hello? Oh, learn to click the right button. There we go. That should send some stuff over. Hopefully. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the buffer chest setup like we have been on everything else just to make sure that their stuff showed up. So that'll bring us in the stuff that we need for that part, which means the next step is going to be, once that gets over here, I want to see it work. Missing input item, progression, build, produce, wonderful. Yeah, we're going to be doing buffer chests like we have been doing. Like, that's the whole reason why this whole system is there, is just to try to keep the thing from not having to try to keep stuff in-house all the time. But there we go. We have a little bit of ferric chloride. Ferric chloride is going to be the last part that I need to be able to make that circuit board, because I should have all of this stuff up. So let's go do that. Let's see. I need to grab one of those. And I have an assembly machine thingy on me still. Yes. And click. Where are you? You're this one. There. We've got that sorted. It's put down. We need to do this circuit board recipe, which is going to be the ferric chloride, the phenolithic board, which is next to us, bronze plates, and enriched redstone dust. All of those are here locally to us, or at least they're right over here. And that shouldn't be too terribly hard to do. I think I have enough parts on us to get that going. So it's going to be this and this. It's 4 things, so it's going to have one of those over there, one of those over there, boop, boop, and boop, boop. And you just tell it what to do. So we're looking for this. What is this board? Circuit board. Let's just get this to where we can see it. This. So bronze plate, enriched iron, and ooh, that's going to suck because that's going to be a bunch of that stuff sitting here. Whatever. Okay. Get it hooked up. What is it? Ferric chloride. And the Enriched. Go, and then jump down here. A few of those already. Okay, so this is bronze plate. This is that, which doesn't have any in it. This doesn't have any in it. That is the only one that will have anything in it. So, boop and boop. All right. Give you your blueprint. And there we go to be making that first portion of the next tier of circuits, which is going to be those things. And those are going to contain a reasonable amount of radiation. So I've already installed one of the things on it. We're just going to see how that all works out. We're going to let that run. Okay, well, I just looked at the time, and I think we're probably about over as far as what we were going to do. I was going to get into the plastic section, but I think we're just going to save that for an entire episode next time. What I do want to do right quick, though, before we leave today, is there is something that I want to unlock, and it should be in the... Where is it? Automation. I want that package assembler thingy right now because we have an ungodly amount of spare parts laying around that I would like to package back up into packages. And for what it's worth, some of the things that I want to pack back up are mainly those assembler Mark 1s so that we can use them to make more of the assembler Mark 2s. So we need 80 green research, of which there should be plenty of that laying around. And I want to go ahead and do that so that I can set that up in between episodes so that we don't need to be wasting more stuff. So I'll put that over here, and I'll just put those in there for right now. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. Those can go over here. So this thing, basically what a package assembler does, good Lord, it's that one right there. Package assembler. Where are you? What are you called? You're called a package assembler. Multi-package assembler. Package assembler basically is a way of being able to recycle stuff into other things so you can build things back into the smaller parts, pieces, or put things back into the package that they were prior so that you're not keeping pieces around. And what's really nice about it, like I said, is for that means I can take all of the assembly machine Mark 1s that we've had, or assembly machines, whatever it is, turn them into something and then be able to use them to build, like, say, more assembly machines. Works with the turbines, works with the power generation stuff as well. So something I'm going to go ahead and get that. I'll just get that set up off camera and get it put out on the back end of of this line over here. We're going to start shaping up this section. I think we're going to start having little machines back in this area that we're going to be able to use, and that one will probably sit right about there, and we'll mess with it probably at the beginning of next episode or however we want to do it. But yes, we're going to look at making plastic, which is going to require a really long line of stuff. I was going to do it, and then I got to realizing that it's going to be quite a bit of time and probably a good full episode. So we have the beginnings of the circuit boards for the rest of that, and I think all we need in order to be able to make this thing after that is, if you click the right correct button, will be to do this process, which will be do silicon wafers, which I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do silicon wafers. There's a couple of different ways of doing it, and depending on how much I feel like doing some of the automation for it is what's going to be there. So that's going to be another portion of this. This whole pack is going to be about building things in a long, drawn-out process, because the process has been drawn out to where it should be, you know, where it would be kind of look like real life. So anyhow, we have our stuff. We have our first part of that circuit board, or at least the next part of the circuit board that we need, and hopefully in an episode or two, we'll be making those things. Maybe if we're lucky, next episode we'll have enough time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. And I'm going to hope to have everything ready to go for the next time. So bye.